S1xE30 here, and today we're going to be reviewing an episode from the Twilight Zone. One of the more well-known episodes, They Stop at Willoughby's. I had seen this episode before, but I think I had only seen it once before. This is a unique episode because I remember this episode, but I don't apparently remember all of this episode because the part at the end gobsmacked me. Somehow I had forgotten it. So I was having a conversation with one of the girls I know, the girl who pretty much runs the property out where I keep my storage unit. Me and her get on really well. And we were talking about the Twilight Zone. And she'd only seen a few episodes. I think one of her ex-boyfriends had showed it to her or something. And she's like, yeah, it's a good show, because she'd seen Time Enough at Last. But she thought every episode of the Twilight Zone was somebody getting a twist, unhappy ending, whether it was deserved or not. I'm like, no, there are episodes of the Twilight Zone with happy endings. Or not happy or sad endings. They're just slice-of-life episodes with a interesting, I don't want to say twist, because that makes it sound evil, but an interesting turn of events in what's mostly an ordinary life. And the one that I was thinking of that a happy ending was a stop at Willoughby's. Because I remember most of the episode. I think what it is I'm combining this episode with either another episode of the Twilight Zone or an episode of Night Gallery. Because I remember him being on the train. I remember him stopping at Willoughby's. I didn't realize it was when he was sleeping. I thought it was him riding a train, it stopping, him getting off at the wrong stop, and then being stuck there, and then getting back on the train, going to his regular life, realizing he liked the Willoughby's better, and then getting back on the train, going to Willoughby's, and him having a happy ending at Willoughby's, and just preferring to be in the past. And maybe I'm mixing this up with another episode, because there are some Twilight Zone episodes that have similarities. Like there's several Twilight Zone episodes that are on a boat, but there's a twist involved, for example. So I might be mixing this up with either a Night Gallery or a Twilight Zone. Because this one plays out. I remembered this, though, in my head, having that happy ending of him staying in the past at Willoughby's, being happy and preferring it there. I seem to think of it being like him changing the past. Because, I don't know, something about maybe a building burning down, him finding out a building burning down when he got back in the present, so he goes back to the past to change it and save people. I don't know where that's coming into my head. It's me mixing up this episode with something else I've seen and merging them in my mind. I still enjoyed this episode, but it's so weird to have a perspective on an episode and have that perspective change because it's not the way you remembered it in your head. It's different like when you're watching something for the first time or when you're watching something you've seen before, and it pretty much plays out the way you expect it to because you've seen it before, you know. If I watch Genesis of the Daleks, I know what I'm getting because I've seen Genesis of the Daleks. I know how it flows. Or even an episode of the Twilight Zone like Nightmare at 20,000 Feet or The Obsolete Man. I know how they flow. I've seen them. Or again, if you're watching an episode for the first time, you're seeing it for the first time. It's weird to be watching an episode that you've seen before and it's going different than you're expecting it to go. It's like you go to watch Wrath of Khan and then for some reason the movie's different. Imagine that. You go to watch Star Wars and it's different. You know, imagine watching Return of the Jedi and for some reason on this watch through, Vader and Luke turn to the dark side, team up, kill the Emperor, and take over the universe. You're going to be sitting there going, wait, what? That's pretty much was my reaction here, because even though I swear I've only seen this one like once before, I thought I had it solidly in my head, because again, I'm obviously combining it with something else I've seen. And then, you know, the main character is much more stressed. I understand why he wants to go to Willoughby, and it's very much, you know, I had always considered the episode Willoughby was a real place. You know, it's the Twilight Zone. Time travel can happen. It was him time traveling to another place because that can happen in this show. And instead, it seems more like in this viewing that it's him dreaming of a better place, him trying to escape because his regular life is so unappealing to him. I mean, he practically has ulcers from the look of it. He's miserable at work. He's miserable at home. He's miserable. He wants an escape. And so at the end, when I realized, okay, maybe it's just him dreaming it, when he actually does get to Willoughby for the last time and he's stepping off the train and everybody knows him by name, I'm like, oh, okay. So I expected the ending to be like, you know, the conductor from the present time would just find his briefcase because he left it, and the guy would have disappeared off the train. Somehow he had actually teleported himself into the past, and it's just a mystery what happened to him. So that whole bit at the end, spoiler alert, when it goes back to the past and it's just the guy's body covered in snow, and so it makes it look like it was in his mind and he just jumped off the train thinking he was at Willoughby's and died because he jumped off a train, and he's being loaded into the, I guess, hearse or whatever it is, and it has Willoughby's and Son written on it. I was not expecting that. I had no memory of that, even having seen this episode. That came out of nowhere. So this episode, which I was expecting to have the happy ending because I've seen this episode, and so I was expecting it to end this way, ends this way. And like, I mentally wasn't prepared for that, because it would have been different, because if I'd never seen this episode, I would have went in with the mental thought process of, okay, I'm watching this for the first time. Instead, I went in with the mental process, oh, I've seen this before, I know what's going to happen. And instead, it went and did this, and I'm sitting there going, my mind's going, did I stumble into a parallel universe? So that was a unique experience that doesn't happen to me very much. Even if it's, say, an episode of TV or a movie that I've only seen once or twice and not in a long time, it'll still typically follow roughly what's in my head, the same story beats, even if I only have like an outline of what happened, because, you know, maybe it's a movie I saw in 1997 and I haven't watched it since. It's probably going to follow the same beats, have the same ending. There might be a couple parts where I'll be like, I forgot that, I forgot about that, but roughly it's what it's very seldom to watch a piece of media that I've seen before and it just completely does something different than what my memory says of it. Just completely different ending, everything. That is a unique experience. And it kind of fascinated me. And it was just weird that I was literally, when having a conversation, telling someone, some episodes of The Twilight Zone have happy endings. This was the one that was in my head, which I guess from a point of view you could say it does. That's really going to depend on your point of view. But I had forgotten that ending. So it definitely left me sitting there going, So that was quite a fascinating viewing experience because of that. And an enjoyable episode. So, a stop at Willoughby's from The Twilight Zone, Season 1. Have you seen it? What do you think of it? Comment down below and let me know. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button as well. I also have some Twilight Zone reviews that are exclusive to the Patreon. If you want to see more you haven't seen here, check out the Patreon, several different tiers there. And there is a link to the Patreon down in the description below. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Colin Coney, Sam Venning, Finn Perkins, and Unknown289. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. It's very much appreciated. I also have a P.O. box if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review. That's how I got this box set right here, actually, of The Twilight Zone. One of my regulars, Colin, who's one of my patrons as well, sent that to me, which I very much appreciate. He's going through and watching Twilight Zone for himself for the first time, and I believe he's enjoying it. And so that's down there. A link to the Amazon wish list is down there. A link to the Amazon UK wish list is down there as well. If you want to check those out, I update those regularly. Most importantly, thank you for watching.